Hi everyone, and welcome to lecture number 7 in GCP Google Cloud Platform series. In the last lecture, we did discuss about overview of VPC and basics about virtual private cloud in GCP as such. In this lecture, we'll further discuss or talk about subnets first. Although we have discussed some part of subnets in my previous lectures, but I just thought to summarize the points over here like this. And then we may have a demo on VPC. We will create a custom mode VPC and an automatic mode VPC, and how we can make use of those default firewall rules which Google creates for you. So that's the lab part. Starting off with subnets, as you know, subnet is a kind of regional resource in GCP, and each VPC network consists of one or more IP address ranges called subnets. Yeah, that we have already discussed. Subnet is a regional resource and have IP address ranges associated with them. So almost all the IP address ranges will be associated to your subnets in GCP. In Google Cloud, the subnet is also called as subnetworks. Just for information. And like this, we have already discussed, like you can create different subnets for public and private resources to separate them in VPC. Resources in public subnet can be accessed from the internet, and resources in private subnet cannot be accessed from the internet. And we have also seen in the GCP portal, these are the two type of IP stacks as such. IPv4 only, two types of subnets. One is IPv4 single stack, also known as, and with IPv4 subnet ranges, it comes along. We do have a dual stack subnet, like mixture of IPv4 and IPv6 subnets, with both IPv4 and IPv6 subnet ranges are supported there. So we'll focus on IPv4 as such. And now, as I mentioned, let's go on to a lab where we see how you can create a VPC with custom mode and how you can create a VPC with auto mode. So if we click on those hamburger menu and go to VPC network, you see this default VPC Google by default creates for you, right? And this we have already seen in my previous lecture. It will create how many regions you have in GCP. It will create that many subnets. Yeah, currently it's 39 when I'm recording this video. It may have been a case like previously, if you're learning GCP, you may see 34, 35, 20, whatever, when you started to learn GCP. And it comes along with 1460 as MTU and mode. This is with what we are interested in. Although the default VPC, the mode is auto over here, but I'll still show you how you can create a custom mode VPC and the auto mode VPC. We don't see internal IP ranges gateway. We see 4 firewall rules, and I can show you how it comes along as 4. Give me a minute. And we see global dynamic routing is off. We'll talk about global dynamic routing also in short in this video. So if I just open this default VPC, let me show you how those firewall rules being listed there as 4. So if I go to firewall, it's loading. Yeah, if I just expand this, so you see this is one for ICMP, ingress firewall rule, for ping basically, and this is for SSH. This is for allow internal communication, and this is for RDP. So these are the 4 firewall rules which gets created by default, and that's what you are seeing there. Let me show you here. Yeah. And global dynamic routing, if I can just show you real quick. I think it should be in the routes. Yeah, so or maybe let me hit on create there. We can see they might give a definition. Yeah, if I can show you first the global routing. Yeah, by default it is selected as regional, but if you just take your mouse over here and just read through it, it says global dynamic routing allows all subnetworks regardless of the region to be advertised to your on-premises router, and regional is when using cloud router. With global routing, you just need a single VPN with cloud router to dynamically learn the routes and to and from Google Cloud Network. So basically, like this is regional, right? Cloud routers will learn routes only in the region which they were created. That's the definition of regional. And if it's a global routing lets you dynamically learn routes to and from all regions, yeah, because it's a global with a single VPN or interconnect. So that's what the difference the dynamic modes which are available in GCP. So first we mentioned like we will create a custom mode VPC and the auto mode VPC. So let's create a custom mode VPC. Custom mode VPC. And if I go down, yeah, here you see the subnet creation mode. Yeah. So here, as we are creating the custom VPC, custom mode VPC, so we should select custom over here. If we are creating a auto mode VPC, then we need to select this. Yeah, that also we'll see. So here it is saying new subnet. Yeah. So yeah, let me click on add subnets. Let's give a name. Let's say suppose we are creating this in US Central subnet. And let's give a region of US Central 1. IP stack, which we have discussed, it can be IPv4 and single stack and dual stack, but we are interested in IPv4 now. Let's give a range, for example, 10.0.0.0/24 maybe, which is mentioned over here in the example. Yeah, I think I have added as extra 0. Sorry for that. Perfect. And we'll talk about private Google access and flow logs. I don't want to confuse you guys now. I just wanted to show you in this video like how you can create a VPC with a custom mode and auto mode, and we can even create a virtual machine and associate with that custom mode VPC, for example. So I'm taking the default option for now. I'll click on done. So if you see now we are in the firewall rules section, wherein I have mentioned like they will create by default rules for you. So these are the by default rules, like custom mode allow custom. This is for ICMP, this is for IDP, this is for internal communication basically, if I'm not wrong. This is for RDP, this is for SSH. So if you want these to be used, you can. Otherwise, you can also create your own firewall rules if you have a knowledge of the same. And we can also see the type. It can be ingress or egress. And you can also define the IP ranges, port protocol, action, allow, deny, or the priority. So lower the priority, higher is the precedence. Yeah, just remember that. Now let's consider this routing also as regional, no worries. And let me hit on create. So our custom mode VPC will be created in a minute. Let me refresh it, and or until maybe till the time it is getting created, right? We can go for the auto mode VPC. I can click on create VPC network. I can just give a name, auto load VPC. Yeah, this time we have to select automatic, and what it says is the IP address range to each region in your VPC network. This will basically assign an IP range. Like for example, Asia East 1 this is the IP range being assigned. If you go down Australia, this is the IP range being assigned. It will be assigned from the ranges. Okay, this is just talking about like they'll assign a particular IP CIDR block, and if you create any resources in this, they'll get the IP from this range as such, whichever region you'll select. Again, so firewall rule is similar. So if you want, you can use the default rules. I'll say yes for the time being now and create. So pretty simple, like we have created two VPCs, one with a custom mode and one with a auto mode. So if you see, our custom mode VPC is created and we have only created one subnet. That's why we see one over here. This is a custom mode VPC, not a default. If you see, this is the custom mode, yeah. And we see 0 firewall rules. I think I missed to select that at that time. But yeah, it's fine. We can even edit it. I can show you how you can edit the VPC network or firewall rule if you want to add, delete, anything like that. Global dynamic routing is off. It's okay. Or maybe let's go over here. Let's go to firewall section. Okay, we see add firewall rules. Let's see if we see those by default one now. No, okay. That's fine, no problem. So in this way, you can go over here and add the firewall rules if you want. Let's say, suppose you want to add another subnet, right? And subnet over here, you see US Central Subnet. So let's say, suppose I want to add another subnet. I can just click on this add subnet. I can say Asia-South subnet. I can select Asia South IPv4. If you want, you can even define like 10.0.0.10/16 maybe. Okay, it says you have overlaps with the subnet which I have added. Okay, it's 10.10.0.0/24. Just keep this option as by default. If I click on add, my another subnet in Asia South will be added soon. Yeah, if you like this. If I go back a bit, and you see, we should see two subnet for that custom VPC now, because we have added another subnet. This is the one, yeah. And this is the auto mode wherein it creates a subnet or assigns a CIDR block of IP ranges in each region. So that's why we see 39. This we have created. We see mode is auto. 4 firewall rules are also here. We haven't selected any default firewall rules which was created by Google for us. So that's why we see 0. And now what we can do is we can create a virtual machine and we can try to assign this VPC network, custom VPC network, which we have created in US Central 1, if I still remember. Yeah, US Central 1 and Asia. Okay. If I go over here, go to Compute Engine. Now we are just trying to make use of the custom VPC which we have created, and we'll assign that custom VPC network to our virtual machine. So just name custom instance VPC US. Yeah. As we have created that custom VPC in US Central 1, right? So you have to make sure in which region basically you have created that VPC, right? You have to make sure you're selecting the same, otherwise you'll not be able to see that in the network option under Compute Engine. So US Central 1, this can be anything, it's fine. Let's take somewhat powerful machine N2. Let's keep all default. Let's keep all the thing as default. Let's go to advanced options. Let's go to networking. I just wanted to show you where you can see that the custom VPC which we have created. Now we see currently it says it is taking the default VPC network, but I'll say like I don't want default network to be selected for my virtual machine or for my compute instance. I want to make use of my own VPC, so I'll just go over here in the network, select my VPC, and you see automatically it is selecting US Central Subnet. IP stack is IPv4. Everything is okay. I'm keeping everything as default. If I just click on create, our virtual machine will be created with our own custom VPC which we have created in US Central, for example. So you see, we'll be seeing few of the details will be filled soon over here. If I just refresh it. Okay, the status is says like instance is running. This is our VPC, sorry, this is our compute instance as such in GCP. You see this is the internal IP, external IP, and this is the, if you want to connect to that, and this is the zone. If you go inside this compute instance, I wanted to show you, yeah. So you see, this is our custom mode VPC. This is our subnet. And from our subnet, this IP is assigned as such. You might have noticed this. If you have some basics of networking, IPv4, this is the external IP address, network tier is premium, and so on. So that's it, guys. For this lecture, I just wanted to show you how you can create custom mode VPC and auto mode VPC, and how you can make use of custom VPC to create your own compute instance, for example. So make sure you always delete the compute instance once you're done with your demo. Otherwise, you may get some extra costs, or maybe the budget or the free credit trial which you have, right, may get over if you keep it running for a long time. So I always delete my compute instances once I'm done with the demo. So let me refresh it. And let me also delete the default VPC as such. I'll open in a new tab. Auto mode VPC, if I go in, just hit the delete. Okay, I don't have the compute instance as such. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for watching. And in the next video, we will learn more about firewall rules. I can even show you a case study, or sometimes which is done in industry, how you can allow, deny, or restrict the traffic as such. So I hope this was informative. Thank you so much for watching.